Hello, fabulous friends, fans, and superstars. Welcome to your horoscope for the week of January 27, 2019. I am your astrologer, Nadia Shah. Thank you for being here. What an amazing week it is. And it really is one of those peak moment weeks, one of those special weeks where it may not necessarily feel like we've hit a high note, but it will be one that we know on some level is significant. And part of what makes it so significant is the first peak moment as part of a larger dance that Neptune and Saturn are doing all this year. These two planets will be dancing in harmony throughout 2019, defining much of 2019 for a lot of us. And in our own personal journeys, this is going to help us to bring together what we aspire to, what we think is a life that would feel more magical, a life that would feel more blessed, and actually translate that inspiration into tangible outcomes. This is about grounding faith and having faith that if we take action in support of the direction that we desire to go, that we can manifest bigger and better things, and we can, in our own lives, define for ourselves what success is and start to experience it. This can be very powerful for us in our individual journeys, certainly, in terms of that real grounding and that focus on the one hand, the spiritual nature of all things, but ultimately in a way that helps us to honor the physical plane as well, to honor the earthly incarnation. As a collective, it is the planet Saturn in the sign of Capricorn right now that is speaking very powerfully to our understanding of larger social structures. When we have Neptune in the sign of Pisces speaking to that Saturn, well, this is inviting us to bring compassion, to bring spirit, to bring the sacred into exactly these very spaces. Now, I spoke a lot about this in the year ahead video for 2019, and you can watch that on my YouTube channel as well. Now, this is taking place right around Thursday, depending on where you are on the planet, and it is right around Wednesday or Thursday that we are going to have another conversation taking place. Now, this conversation isn't as rare as the larger configuration of these big power players of Saturn and Neptune. However, in the context of this configuration, it is ultimately one that will be supporting. And this is the meeting of the Sun and Mercury in the sign of Aquarius. Now, these two planets do get together from time to time. They're never traveling more than 2 signs away from each other at any given moment. Mercury likes to hang out close to the sun in the sky. However, what is happening with this meeting of these two planets is that ultimately it will be new ideas, it will be new considerations, and truly a sense of what is next, whether it's the next technology, the next idea. In some way, this energy invites us to consider what could be the next revolution. And it also invites us to welcome in a breakthrough. Well, it is going to be this expression of new ideas and breakthrough thoughts, and even possibly the introduction of new technologies that are part of what help us to understand these changes that are taking place within larger social structures and bringing compassion into the mix. There are absolutely ways that we can bridge these energies together. It is ultimately the meeting of Mercury and the Sun in the sign that has to do with the internet and information reaching a lot of people very quickly, that more of us will become aware of developments at this time. Now, I would also add these two planets meeting in the sky, this conjunction in our own lives is going to help us to bring a sense of clarity of who we are and how are we expressing that in this unique area where it is in our own individual lives that this meeting occurs. Now, what's also interesting is these three placements. So we've got Saturn in Capricorn, Sun, Mercury in Aquarius, Neptune in Pisces. This is taking place in what is considered the final quadrant in the sky. And so it's basically, when you look at the signs, there's 12 signs, and you can group them in different ways. We can group them by modality, which is that any given sign will be cardinal, fixed, or mutable. Cardinal signs begin a season, fixed signs hold the season, mutable signs close off a season and prepare for the next. Or they can be grouped by element. And so there are 4 elements. There's water, air, fire, and earth. And so you'll have 3 signs that are each in a element. So you have 4 different elements. So that's also one way that we group and understand the signs. But another way that we can understand them as well has to do with quadrants. So it's the first 3 is the first quadrant. The second 3 is the second quadrant. The third 3 in a group is the third quadrant. And then we have the final 4th quadrant. And this is the last 3 signs of the zodiac. Now, having these 3 signs activated in such powerful ways as we see right in the middle of the week says that in addition to these larger issues in our individual journeys that I mentioned, there's also an element here of thinking very big picture, thinking very lofty, and considering the larger implications of our actions and of our own aims. So these 3 signs respectively denote manifestation, understanding, and closure. And this can be a very powerful time of actually seeing what it is you desire manifest in the physical world and in your life and in your reality. And a lot of that is going to be based on the connections, the information that we share with others and that we allow ourselves to receive. I think that this is an important time in terms of communication, but that communication has to have some purpose, some higher ideal. And when it is rooted in compassion, well, that is when we are able to manifest something that we can truly feel proud of. Now, as we get late into the week, right at the very end of the week, we are going to have a very active Saturday, as I said, at the end of the week. Now, what we will have in the sky is 2 important configurations. The first is a conversation of tension between Mars and Pluto. Mars right now is in its own sign of Aries, making it that much more powerful a player in the sky. And Pluto is having a conversation of tension. Now, both of these planets are also the ancient and modern ruling planet of the sign of Scorpio. The sign of Scorpio denotes a sense of rebirth. It denotes a sense of knowing what it is that has served its purpose, knowing where it is that we are ready for change, and knowing where it is that we are ready for some sort of a rebirth. Now, this configuration in and of itself can be quite intense. And so this can be a time when emotions are running very strong. And it can also be a time when it feels like fated events transpire. Now, whether that's fated attractions to other people, whether that is a sense of needing to acknowledge how it is that certain situations are less than ideal. This can bring with it, I'm sorry to say, but sometimes this can denote a sense of power struggle or power games with another person. The key here is that ultimately what this conversation is asking us is to be honest with ourselves. It is asking us to be willing to be truly reflective and to own our power and to know where it is that we have power, but also to understand the power of realizing where we don't have power. This is, of course, the Serenity Prayer. And I like to think of Mars as symbolic of where it is that we are being asked to live the Serenity Prayer. When you have Mars speaking with Pluto, well, that becomes a very fated and consequential moment where we are asked to bring forward the lesson as reflected in the Serenity Prayer or the Serenity Affirmation. So what the serenity affirmation, serenity prayer says is, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. This to me is what Mars is. The courage to change what you can, and the power that comes and the peace that comes from accepting where it is that you don't have power to change things. And the element of wisdom as well is an action in and of itself, the willingness to approach it with wisdom. Well, you add Pluto to the mix, and it is work whose time has come. In at least one area of life, we are going to be presented with the opportunity to change, the opportunity for transformation, and the opportunity to truly focus and dedicate ourselves towards what it is that we are realizing is worth the effort, and where it is that we are realizing we have power. This can be a profound process for some people. And as I said, there's a strong measure of fate here. So it is important to trust the developments as they come about in our lives, because it is going to be those developments that help us to harness our power of meaningful change. Now, simultaneously, under the same sky, we are going to have a beautiful connection take place between Venus and Uranus. I love this energy. I'm always very excited when I see it. It tends to happen about twice a year, and it's not always necessarily in the same part of the sky. Now, consider this. It is going to be very soon that Uranus leaves fire sign Aries for good, not to return for the better part of the next 8 decades. So it'll be a long time before Uranus comes back to the sign of Aries. Won't be in a fire sign for a good long time as well. We're looking at over 20 years before Uranus re-enters a fire sign. Now, that means that Venus being in a fire sign right now, well, this is the last time that we are going to see this type of supremely harmonious connection between Uranus and Venus in fire signs for many years to come. And all of us are going to find that there is an element in our lives of luck, of blessing, of surprise, of delight. Now, generally, this energy can be really nice for romantic surprises, but it's also financial, lovely developments as well that bring with them opportunity and bring with them things changing very quickly for the better, helping us to align with greater prosperity, and an energy of beauty as well, and redefining beauty in our own terms. Being able to recognize our own unique beauty is part of the blessing of this time. And so if you are a fire sign, you are going to find this a super romantic time. You'll be able to access this energy that much more. The luck factor will be that much higher. If you are an air sign, you are going to find that this is a time when you are able to tap into the power of your connections, and it is going to be other people who in some way facilitate bigger and better and more beautiful things into your life. If you are a water sign, then this is going to be a time that you find a lot of reward comes where it comes to matters of career and money and work. These are the areas of great blessing for you. And for those of you who are earth signs, this is a profoundly spiritual, profoundly changing energy, but it helps you to bring forward ultimately good karma, blessings that maybe you didn't actually go out there and earn, but are bestowed to you based on the things whose time has come, and based also on the things that you might have put into place long ago but forgot about. Your power as an earth sign is in the power to change. It is the transformative power that is highlighted of this energy. But every sign out there is going to find their own unique blessings, and every person out there as well. Great time to express whatever it is that you might have been holding back a little bit in terms of feelings that you may have for another. This is where the universe supports trusting your instincts and being really spontaneous and just going for it, going for the change you want, going for the joy you want, and going for the love you want as well, along with the changes that you may want in your own life and in your own unique expression of that Venusian energy of beauty. What I love about this week for us, well, look, there's a lot here, but I do really love the energy of Venus and Uranus. It is just fun. It is fun. It is fortunate. It is filled with a sense of possibility and delight. It is an important time to consider where it is that maybe you're going to allow yourself to be just a little bit more open, because it is in just that little bit of space of wonder as to what it is that could show up, that something does show up better than anything you could have planned yourself. Well, thank you so much for watching. I'm so grateful for it. What do you love about this week? What are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments below. I absolutely love reading you guys, as you know. And of course, if you want to know what all this wonderful stuff means to you and your sign, you can log on to NadiaShaw.com. Sign up to be one of my superstars. Superstars get expanded exclusive video scopes each and every week, unlimited access to special horoscopes, and so much more. All of this in the superstar space. I look forward to meeting you there. Now, I am in Las Vegas, fabulous Las Vegas. I've been sharing a little something here and there of my journey on Instagram. And so thank you so much to everybody on my Instagram, Nadia_Shaw. Thank you, because it's been really fun sharing with you guys. It's been fun interacting with you guys. So you can catch a little bit more of the personal side of what's happening on my Instagram account. However, I am here for a speaking engagement with the NCGR Stargazers group. This is going to be so much fun. The Stargazers of Las Vegas. We are going to have a lot of fun together. We are going to be getting together and talking about karma and love. That is happening this coming Tuesday, the 29th of January. And if you are anywhere near Las Vegas, it would be wonderful to meet you in person. It would be wonderful to hang out and talk karma and love and just have a lot of fun in the evening. So have a look below in the description below, and you can catch the information there. Now, I do have other events coming up as well. You might have heard the event that is taking place in Mexico for February 3rd is sold out. So thank you so much, everybody, for making it a huge success. And it is going to be a huge success as well as that whole transformational week gets going. And I will be there on Saturday at the end of this week as a special guest. And I have events coming up in Seattle and Vancouver in May, and in Baltimore Labor Day weekend. I'm really looking forward to meeting friends and fans in real time. I absolutely do love it. Now, my amazing friend Katie Weber has put out her 2019 Year of the Pig Feng Shui Success Pack. You all know I'm a huge believer in her work and what she does. I think that she's phenomenal, and I am loving my success pack as well. I have been sharing her with you for the last few years because her work has meant so much to me. It has made such a huge difference in my life, professionally and personally as well. And Feng Shui is all about aligning your home with heaven. And so you can check that out. Look at the link below. The Feng Shui New Year starts really soon. The Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year starts really soon as well. It is going to be at the end of this week, this coming weekend. That is the Lunar New Year weekend, and that is right around the 3rd or 4th, depending on where you are on the planet. It is going to be a wonderful year. It is the Year of the Pig that is always considered a truly prosperous year and a year of a lot of happiness. And so it is Katie who helps you to understand how to maximize that very energy of possibility right where you are in your home. And as I said, her work is just phenomenal. I started out as her fan, and then I became her client, and now I am her friend. And it's such a pleasure to share her work with you. Again, check out the description and the link below. I am in Las Vegas, fabulous Las Vegas. I think I might have said that already, but it is truly such a pleasure and such a joy to be here. I just a little earlier tonight, it's pretty late while I'm recording this, and I'll get it up for you guys as soon as possible. That's Las Vegas there in the background, just beyond my reflection. You can see the city there. And I, just tonight, earlier tonight, I went to see one of my absolute favorite comedians right now, Tiffany Haddish. And she's a young comedian. She only really started having success the last couple of years, but you know, to see her in person, to meet her in person, you just can feel right away that there are bigger and better things, much bigger things coming up for her in the near future. Now, I did get a chance to meet her as well. I wasn't allowed to film the meeting, but I will share a picture of meeting her in the near future as well on my Instagram account. So again, be on the lookout for that. And I do have some little videos I've recorded that I'll try to share as well of some of my feelings immediately before and after meeting her. But it really was very special. And so a couple of things stand out to me that I wanted to share with you very quickly. One was, if you watch her, like if you've seen her movies or you've seen her appearances on television, like she's obviously very, very beautiful when you see her. But in person, up close, she is truly very beautiful. I was very surprised because you already think that she's so beautiful. And then you see her up close and she just had this wonderful Sag energy, this big Sag energy, and, you know, got a big hug from her. Really, she was hugging all the people who were waiting in line for the meet and greet. And so that was just really very lovely. And what I said to her when I met her was, I said, "I love you. It's my birthday. Do you know what time you were born?" Like I pretty much said it just like that. And so then she kind of paused a little bit. It's a little bit of a story. Like I said, I'll save the entire story for another time. But essentially, she did give a birth time, which was truly very exciting. So she gave a time. She said, "I was born December 3rd, 1979 at 8:48 a.m. So that's what she said. So for those of you out there who are keen to know the birth time of celebrities and how do we know the birth time of different celebrities? Well, that's it. It really comes down to astrologers who get a chance to meet celebrities and get a chance to ask them. You know, take that bold step. And once you tell somebody, you say to somebody, "Do you know what time you were born?" Right away, they know that you're an astrologer. They know it right away. And so she did as well. But it was just a wonderful moment to share with her. And now we have an exact birth time for her as well. So that's really exciting for those of you who want to know or want to look at her chart. That is available to do now. I thought I would share that little story. And again, I'll have a lot more to share about that in the near future. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for watching. I am so happy and excited to be here in fabulous Las Vegas. I'm so excited to meet friends and fans very soon this week. It really is going to be so much fun. So thank you for the welcome that I already feel. And thank you for sharing this moment of your sacred journey with me. It'll be a great week. Enjoy.